Welcome to Setanta Sports FA Cup highlight show, where we have an extended look back at yesterday's two FA Cup quarter-finals. Later on we'll be at Craven Cottage, where Fulham hosted Manchester United. But first it's at the Ricoh Arena, where Chelsea travelled to take on the 1987 winners Coventry City. Your commentators for this one, Graham Lasso and Peter Drury.
11 years to the day since Coventry last hosted an FA Cup quarter-final. It has been a long, long wait. What they sing here is play up Sky Blues, and City will certainly have to play up. Chelsea are in town. There's a Wembley Cup semi-final for the winners. It is the sort of occasion on which divine intervention can help. Kieran Westwood, one of the top young English keepers, but not averse to getting a little assistance from the Almighty. To which perhaps 22 years ago Steve Ogrizovic might have turned. He in the class of 87 who took Coventry to FA Cup triumph. Since Big Oggie's day until now, Coventry have only been in one cup quarter-final. Marcus Hall is the sole survivor of a penalties defeat by Sheffield United 11 years ago. And the visiting left full-back Ashley Cole is another point of interest today. Wrist slapped, but still selected after his midweek late-night indiscretions. A four-time FA Cup winner. Referee is Steve Bennett, who incidentally was in charge at Wembley when Chelsea won the Cup 2 years ago, and also when they surrendered it at Barnsley 1 year ago this weekend. Uniquely, recognisably, audibly, the FA Cup. Quarter-final weekend starts here as Coventry look for a brand new memory to dine out on, and as Chelsea look to continue what under new management has so far been perfection. Graham Lasso played in a Chelsea Cup final team of 2002, and Graham, knowing what you do about them now and Coventry over the last month as well, do you anticipate any problems for your old side?
Well, I think the beginning of the game is all about how both teams approach the tempo of the match. I think certainly for Coventry they've really got to try and play as much as they can in Chelsea's 18-yard box.
Best one is first header, aimed towards Morrison, away by Alex, back in by Doyle. This is Freddie Eastwood. Jordan Henderson on loan from Sunderland, and Ashley Cole, who's well used to this sort of reception. Booed wherever he goes, but with a remarkable FA Cup pedigree. 4 times a winner, 3 times with Arsenal, once with Chelsea. I think he played against you in a cup final, Graham, didn't he?
That's right, he did, yeah, on the winning side. Thanks for reminding me.
This is Ben Turner, one of 2 very accomplished young centre-halves that Coventry have. Leon Best still playing in the mask, since wearing which his form has been just about the best of his career.
Yeah, he's a good player, Leon Best. I mean, he needs to score goals. I mean, obviously that's what he's in the team for, but also link the play up as well, find some space for himself to help his team support.
Gunnarsson, this is the captain, Dan. Really good player. Stuart Pearce will know all about him, involved with England under-21s. Forward by Doyle, pursued by Morrison, and gathered in by Petr Cech. Quentin Morrison, another of those with Premier League experience, but here is Drogba, held up by Turner, but strong enough to go and drag it wide.
Well played, Didier Drogba there. Good clearance, but poor defending from Scott Dan. Got the wrong side of Didier Drogba, really. Big clearance from Petr Cech, and Drogba using his strength there. Gets the wrong side. Good control, composure, and just scuffs the shot, really. Gets across it a little bit too much.
There's Coleman there, who scored his first ever goal in the FA Cup as a Swansea teenager in the same year that Gus Hiddink was leading PSV to the European Cup. 24 years between them, but it's the younger man who knows more about the FA Cup. Bosingwa. Kalou, Lampard at the pivot. Ballack. Malouda's offside.
Again, tidy football by Chelsea. They've got a lot of space, which will concern Chris Coleman, and he's not offside. You got the sense when it first happened that he'd timed his run to perfection, and unfortunately for Flo Malouda, he's given the linesman's made a mistake there.
Roman Abramovich, the Chelsea owner, next to Bruce Buck, with an eye on the prize as ever.
Did he pick that suntan up from Coventry, do you think?
I rather doubt it. What I do know is that whilst he is renowned for his wealth, Coventry are making plenty out of the arrival of his club. They say it's worth about £1 million this game to Coventry City, which for a championship team losing money week on week is a handy old payday. Imagine what a semi-final would be worth to them. Cole. Ballack.
And there's that run again from Michael Ballack. Although he didn't manage to collect that pass, if he does, he's right on the back of the Coventry central defence. So it's another warning sign for Coventry. It's really impressed me already how many players Chelsea are putting in front of the ball. They've got 4 or 5 players at any time.
Ray Ranson, the Coventry chairman, former fullback for Manchester City, played in the 1981 FA Cup final, was turned inside out amongst others by Ricky Villa. He'd also be rather more reluctant to tell you that the previous season he was in a Manchester City team beaten by Halifax Town at the Shea. That's the cup for you, picks you up and knocks you down. Oh, Dan's been taken off it by Drogba, who must score here. Didier Drogba does score. And Chelsea have their cup lead a quarter of an hour in. The owners smile, the centre-forwards smile. The sense that Chelsea are on the march again. Drogba certainly is.
There was a warning sign earlier on in the game when Scott Dan got caught. Here again, you know, it's a long clearance, a mistake there. Scott Dan really doesn't make a decision on that and allows the strength of Drogba to get control of the ball. His first touch to the keeper, I think he's taken it too wide. But actually, technically, what a great finish this is. He's still got quite a lot of work to do there, I can tell you that, and tremendous finish by an informed Didier Drogba.
Just more than a quarter of the game gone at the Ricoh Arena, which has been sold out by Coventry City for the first time since they moved here from dear old Highfield Road. 31,000 plus inside the ground. Bon Jovi got 35,000. Red Hot Chili Peppers 40,000. Here's Ashley Cole. I guess Cheryl would probably set it out as well. Here goes Eastwood, really worrying Alex. It's Leon Best. Wonderful run, but without the composed finish to accompany it.
Great run by Leon Best. He was a young player at Southampton when I finished my career, and he's always had the potential to do this to people. He's just got to do it more often, but great strength and power there. Comes inside John Terry, and unfortunately for him and Coventry, just gets the shot all wrong.
Funny, he actually only needs to wear that mask for another week or two, but such has been his form whilst wearing it that he's talking about keeping it on afterwards.
There's a lot of supporters with him on as well.
It seems to have brought the best out in him. He's well protected, but playing some of the best football of his career. Here's Kalou. And Malouda. Bosingwa. Now that's what Eastwood's all about. It's almost in the last 4 or 5 minutes as if Coventry have shaken off the fear. There's a sense of, well, come on boys, we might as well go about this.
They've got to play their football, they've got to play the way they know they can, and by using that sort of physical strength in midfield, it will unsettle Chelsea.
Good length from Westwood. Here's Goodison. Dan's tackle was allowed to go by Steve Bennett, and the referee was close to it. Here's Leon Best. who's shot cannoned off Terry and fell okay for Petr Cech, but it has become a fashion item in this neck of the woods.
She's a bit shy, isn't she? She's got a mask on and she's still shy.
Can I hide, Dad? Gunnarsson. Best was on a slightly different wavelength. And Petr Cech, who has to live perpetually now with protection round his head, of course. There was a time when it was de rigueur at Stamford Bridge to have a hat a little like his. As we know, fashion moves on quickly down the King's Road. Terry.
Very patient build-up by Chelsea. It's interesting to see Drogba. He's not playing as an orthodox centre-forward or lone striker. He's coming in and then making runs from midfield as well.
Ballack onto the considerable chest of Drogba, who gives Westwood a potential problem. Came down from Carlisle in the summer, did Kieran Westwood, still only 24. The rumour mongers will tell you, and I think they may have some substance in their reports, that he may be bound for a still bigger and better club before too long. Everton and Spurs amongst those mentioned. Best has been attacked from behind by Alex, and Coventry have a set-piece situation here which offers opportunity.
Does well, Leon Best. He gets his body in between Alex and the ball. Alex has already committed, and the foul in this position, this is one of the key moments for Coventry, one of the few opportunities they're going to get to produce some quality into the box.
Well, they have two players who have proved themselves handy over a set-piece. Jordan Henderson is one. Most people will remember the famous goal that Freddie Eastwood scored for Southend against Manchester United in the League Cup. That was a free kick at Roots Hall from similar range. Eastwood ran over it, Henderson played it in. It curled late, but not enough.
That's the right idea there by Jordan Henderson. Decent ball in, but I think he's caught between trying to cross it and just trying to get it into that far corner as well. So it's the right idea, just slightly poor execution there is unfortunate.
Kalou. Lampard. Look at the space here for Basingwa. Set back for Michael Ballack. It's a really brave block by Turner. Best. Cushion for Goodison. Coventry now looking to counter. Much better football match now that Coventry have found a certain vim and vigour of their own. But it hasn't made them any less vulnerable to Chelsea once they're in possession, as they are now with Malouda and Kalou.
Again, wonderful play by Chelsea. Patient, they always seem to have an extra man when they go forward.
I don't know, Graham, you might tell me I'm wrong and talking out of the top of my head, but it just seems to me that Coventry played the occasion for the first 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, and now they're playing the match, and it's a better contest as a result.
Yeah, I think, you know, you'll have a picture of the game before you play it, how you want to play, and obviously the first 10-15 minutes, you've got so much energy. All these Coventry players are really going to want to stamp their authority on the game, and that can be unsettling, and it's, you know, you're thinking positive thoughts, but you're not playing an actual game.
Goodison's delivery, Mikel's header out. Malouda took it further clear and was then caught from behind by Michael Doyle, who has been summoned now by Steve Bennett. It wasn't a first offence. He's going to be given one more chance. Yeah,
this will be the last chance he gets before he goes into the book. I mean, again, Chelsea breaking. They're very quick when on the break, Chelsea, and Michael Doyle there. You know, I think he realises that Malouda's getting away from him. Cynical foul. But he's, you know, as players do, they you know, take one for the team just to reset and not allow the Chelsea in behind them.
Kalou. Drogba. Malouda. Cole bombing on beyond him. Ashley Cole with the slightly shinned cross. Marcus Hall's was the last touch.
Did well there, Ashley Cole, despite the final cross, to break forward as we see him do all too often and just create that extra man.
Basingwa. Mikel just about bypassed Henderson, in by Cole. Henderson arrived after the ball had gone.
He's reaching for that. Nothing cynical or malicious about it. I just think he's always getting there after Ashley Cole's played the ball.
Kieran Westwood has erected a three-man wall, standing between him, the ball and Frank Lampard. And it is Frank Lampard, and it's a very good save. It's a spiky shot from Lampard. Got plenty behind it, low and flat and dipping. Keeper got up well.
Yeah, the movement on the ball there from Frank Lampard, he struck it quite unusually. He didn't curl it at all. He sort of hit over the top of the ball, not dissimilar to Cristiano Ronaldo. And the ball was actually dipping. It would have dipped in if it hadn't been for the save of Westwood.
Now Lampard's corner. And the referee has seen a push. Eastwood left Cole behind and fired one into the midriff of Petr Cech.
Yeah, they're not frightened to have a go, Coventry, in terms of shooting from distance. Excellent play by Freddie Eastwood there. Good strike, and that's a good collection by Petr Cech as it bounces just in front of him.
Hall safe and simple. Coventry really cannot afford to concede now. They're still in the tie at 1 down. It would be stretching credulity if they went 2 down before half-time. Basingwa. Oh, he's hung that up really well. Malouda has had to retrieve. Worrying right. Aiming at Drogba. Away by Doyle. Thumb tied by Eastwood. Something for which Morrison can compete, but there's plenty of John Terry. It's a really smart turn from Lampard. Referees let it go because Drogba has it, and Drogba's hit it wide.
That's good play by Chelsea. First 2 attacks, good cross from Basingwa. Then back out Frank Lampard. Foul, but referee allowing play to go on. You could always see Drogba was lining this up for a strike, but again, doesn't quite get a good connection and scuffs it.
Good refereeing too by Steve Bennett there to let it go in Drogba's favour, and he did go back to the incident and had a word with Goodison about his rugged challenge on Frank Lampard. Nice little nick from Malouda, Drogba chasing through.
You can just see the pace of Drogba there. As soon as he starts getting into his stride, he's really powering down on Coventry's defence.
See that little fella in the crowd, 1987, ancient history to him. Just 1 minute to be added on at the end of the 45. Alex for Chelsea. And Lampard and Drogba. Lampard. Malouda. Out as far as Salomon Kalou. And that should see the Sky Blues through to half-time.
Again, one-on-one, Malouda against Henderson. Decent ball in, half a clearance, but Coventry are really camped inside their sort of 18-yard box, allowing Kalou a free shot, and he wasn't able to take advantage of it.
Well, you've seen enough of Coventry to know that the cup tie's still alive, but he has seen enough of Chelsea, and in particular of Didier Drogba, to know that Chelsea are certainly the more potent force. Dan's error, Drogba's goal. Half-time at the Ricoh Arena, Coventry City 0, Chelsea 1.
This Saturday, live on Setanta Sports, Scottish Premier League. Hibernian host Hearts in the Edinburgh Derby as both sides battle for a top four finish.
Oh, that is magnificent!
Hibernian v Hearts, this Saturday, live on Setanta Sports. The best from South American club football with the Copa Libertadores.
Good shot! Oh, yes! What a brilliant goal!
The Copa Libertadores this Thursday live on Setanta Sports.
Keep up to date with all things football. James Richardson presents the Friday Football Show right here on Setanta Sports.
The first name these days, of course, on England fans' lips.
We'll preview the weekend's fixtures as well as special interviews with your favourite stars. Your football weekend starts here.
I might as well sit down and enjoy the ride.
Who knows what we'll have to talk about?
I am your father.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m. exclusively on Setanta Sports. Setanta Sports brings you exclusive access to Chelsea TV. Keep up to date with all the latest from inside Stamford Bridge. After heartbreak last season, follow Chelsea's assault on the Premier League, Carling Cup and the UEFA Champions League.
But the blue touch paper has been well and truly lit.
Chelsea TV, exclusive to Setanta Sports.
I had a bad experience with a politician recently. I tend not to listen to Whitehall anymore.
They don't work for the government.
It's another one of your spooky doos, is it?
They're not in bed with the police, and they're not on the United Nations radar.
If we understood how it worked, we could feed the world.
We could release a single.
They work alone, saving the Earth.
Excuse me, have you seen a blowfish driving a sports car?
One alien at a time.
Don't kill me! That's what we do best. Wipe out aliens.
Torchwood Series 2, Tuesday 9:30 on UK TV.
Next weekend on Setanta Sports, live RBS Six Nations Rugby.
Deserves a try, gets a try. He gathers, will score, and he does.
RBS Six Nations next weekend on Setanta Sports.
It is for Ricardo Quaresma, a first taste of the English FA Cup. He is not eligible for the Champions League game in the week, so he can give everything to this particular cause on this particular day. Interesting, Barnsley were actually due to be visiting Coventry today if they hadn't had their cup run a year on from their FA Cup quarter-final triumph over Chelsea. It is now for Coventry to evoke the spirit of Coyote Odujayi and do something special against these glamorous visitors. Chelsea are unbeaten in their last 6 games against Coventry since losing at Highfield Road on the opening day of the 1998-99 season. You played, Graham. Darren Huckabee and Dion Dublin scored. Coventry won 2-1. Since then it's been all Chelsea blue and not sky blue. What have Coventry got to do to win now?
Well, I think they've got to defend better. I certainly feel that they're allowing Chelsea too many opportunities, but naturally we have to accept that Chelsea, with the quality that they have, are always going to cause a lot of create a lot of chances. But for Coventry, it's really how they break forward with Freddie Eastwood. You know, it's a risk playing him off the front two, and he's got to become a sort of pivotal, have a pivotal role really in any chances that Coventry might create.
Coventry in search of what would only be their second FA Cup semi-final. The only time they reached the semi-final, they went on and won the competition. But with a game to chase here against very, very good opponents. Here's Ballack. Nicely spread for Cole, whose every touch is audibly recognisable. Lampard. Basingwa, and now Quaresma. There's good whip on the delivery, and Drogba was looking to get ahead of his man at the near post, and given that he got the last touch, evidently did get ahead of Turner.
Yeah, Quaresma has just come on, fantastic cross. Just gets a yard, doesn't even need to beat Marcus Hall, and whips that into the near post. Didier Drogba, you know, the quality that he has, anticipates it and gets half a touch on it. I think he presumes it came off Turner.
John Sillett enjoying every moment. The man who managed Coventry to their 1987 triumph. Shouldn't be forgotten in the interest of balance that he began his playing career as a Chelsea man. 102 games for Chelsea in the 50s and early 60s. And that's a good ball from Basingwa. Quaresma had nowhere to go. Hall was in pretty forcibly behind him.
That's experience there by Quaresma. He knew what he wanted. He wasn't going anywhere. Thought he could draw the free kick. Slightest of touches by Marcus Hall, and Quaresma goes to the ground and wins the free kick for Chelsea.
Free kick which Quaresma has yielded to Frank Lampard. John Terry's made his way forward. Alex is with him. Drogba too, of course. Lampard's delivery has hit the first man, who was Clinton Morrison. Basingwa. Lampard, up got Alex. Nudged out as far as Drogba. Aimed in again at Alex. That was brave from Dan to throw his head in. Best header only reached Lampard, who's charged down by Goodison, and now Eastwood. And Henderson, who's proving a useful outlet, particularly in the second half. But whose pass was just on the wrong side of the line, dividing ambition from reason. And that's a forceful challenge by Wright at the back of Malouda. And Steve Bennett wants a word. And he's going to keep his cards in his pocket. Actually, he has this season, Steve Bennett. He's only shown one red card all year, and his yellow card count isn't high.
That's a really, really physical challenge that by Stephen Wright. You know, he's obviously trying to intimidate Malouda a little bit, and we'll see if he's succeeded.
And here is the first Coventry change of the afternoon. In place of Michael Doyle, 29-year-old Frenchman Guillaume Bezelin, who is a summer arrival from the Scottish Premier League. He was playing for Hibs, where he reached a Scottish Cup semi-final a couple of years back. But he is another combative central midfield player who's immediately close to Ballack. Forward by Mikel. Bounced off Drogba. Oh, Turner let it bounce. Lampard looked to profit. Dan chased it out. Cole has it back, and here's Ballack. Quaresma's take, Hall away from him. Coventry's ball. Now Michael Essien has just been summoned by Ray Wilkins and Gus Hiddink, and is going to return to first team football for Chelsea for the first time since the last day of August. Michael Essien is back, and that is what the Chelsea supporters think. He is simply one of their favourites. And he's on the ball. Lampard. Essien. Malouda. Cole. Malouda, it's really well done. It's Ashley Cole for Chelsea. Ball just wouldn't sit for him. Clever from Quaresma to keep it in play, but it's Coventry who profit with Eastwood. And Goodison. And Best looking to stretch them, and Terry who will not be stretched.
Once again, a chance ball by Gunnarsson up to Best. John Terry wins it and goes straight on the attack.
The man who lifted the FA Cup in 2007, who's lifted 5 major trophies as captain of Chelsea. And who is the only survivor in the current team of the last Chelsea side to play in the city of Coventry. Cole's tackle on Best. A quarter of the game to play, and now Aaron Goodison with another of these long throws. Now, from more or less precisely here against Sheffield United in the week, Goodison dashed through this gap in the advertising hoardings and delivered one onto the head of Scott Dan, who scored. And there's Goodison again, and Turner's up, and Cheika's lost it, and it's come out to Bousselin. And now Hall, and now Eastwood. They'll settle for a throw. And he's going to go all the way across and take another one.
Yeah, he warmed up with the first one. It's always difficult for players to defend a long throw because it's coming in very flat. You don't know whether to put a couple of big markers there on that sort of corner of the 6-yard area, or as we saw there, asked Petr Cech to come out and command that area. He did, but he, found himself almost in trouble.
Now watch the way he bends his run here. Like a spin bowler coming round the wicket. In by Goodison. Oh! And Best couldn't get a stud on it. It only needed a stud. He and Morrison both stuck out a leg. Here was the moment when Leon Best was painfully close, as was Morrison.
Yeah, it's such a dangerous throw into the box.
They've had 35,000 in here for Bon Jovi, 40,000 for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now 31,500 for the first time, a Coventry City sellout. And Chelsea are giving themselves headaches here. A clash of heads involving Big Alex coming down and clashing with his own colleague.
It's Alex and Drogba both collide there. Both of them got their eye on the ball. And often happens when you get some nasty injuries, players have got the focus on the ball. And both come out, thankfully, relatively unscathed.
Fewer than 20 minutes for Coventry to save their day. I wonder whether they're going to be allowed to take the throw with Drogba and Alex both off the field. A throw against 9 men if Goodison's allowed to get on with it.
I think they're standing in his way.
This is a real chance. But Ballack got up at the front of the penalty area. Eastwood tried to take it back. Bousselin was caught on it. Drogba has moved it quickly. Quaresma's on the ball. Chelsea have 3-on-1 here. Must be for Alex! And that should be that. Chelsea's lightning quick counter-attack. And who was furthest forward? Who was furthest forward? It was Alex. The big centre-half from Brazil had lumbered 100 yards and found himself eyeball to eyeball with the keeper. And Chelsea are most of the way into the Cup semi-final.
The bizarre thing is he'd just come back on the pitch as well, Alex. Wonderful ball by Quaresma into the space, and what a strike that is. See Quaresma looking up. He knows where he wants to put it, right in between the centre-half and the goalkeeper, and what a quality finish by Alex with his left foot.
Coventry were drawn in and stung. It may feel cruel to them, it's an uplift for him, He doesn't get many like those. Buildup. Foul by Drogba. Starting to reach now or never territory from a Coventry point of view. Otherwise the run is over. 11 years since their last quarter-final, 22 years since their last semi-final. And the wait for the next last four appearance may go on, unless... Rolled out by Drogba, taken by Malouda, touched back to him by Lampard. Quaresma is furthest forward. Malouda has picked out Frank Lampard. It's a really good save by Westwood, who does look an excellent young keeper.
Wonderful save by Westwood there. Again, a very good break by Chelsea. Malouda breaking forward, perfectly weighted past Frank Lampard. And look at Kieran Westwood coming out, closing that angle down and denying Frank Lampard the opportunity to score the goal.
Stayed on his feet a long time too, didn't he, Westwood? Morrison. It's a foul. Now, change for Chelsea. Didier Drogba's being kept fresh for Tuesday night's big assignment in Turin. He's got his goal. It's 3-4. And here it was, preying on the hesitancy of a centre-half and finishing with his regular aplomb, probably to carry Chelsea into the semi-finals. He wants to carry them into the quarter-finals of the Champions League. To that end, he's protected for the last 10 minutes here and replaced by Franco Di Santo. Lifted forward by Turner, and won well by Best, and here's Clinton Morrison. Just couldn't get beyond Alex. Now, he didn't go over under Alex's outstretched leg.
Great header by Leon Best. You see there, Alex has made the lunge, and you just feel that Clinton Morrison there thinks he can get his foot to the ball. There's the right leg of Alex, and it's a difficult one to call.
Here's Gunnarsson. Well, there's life, there's hope for Coventry. Rolled through for Best. In by Henderson. All the way through to Hall. He'll settle for a corner.
Again, good play by Coventry. Gunnarsson feeding the ball through to Best, holding the ball up, getting it wide to Henderson. Decent ball into the box and winning a corner.
It is caution to the wind time now. Coventry have just left Stephen Wright back. It is their first corner. Eastwood's taken it. Basingwa's headed it clear. Henderson first to the second ball. That's a smart little ball in for Gunnarsson. Away by John Terry.
Yeah, well played Gunnarsson there. Fantastic run. He's giving Chelsea a taste of their own medicine. Running in between that space between Alex and Basingwa. John Terry reading it well and getting the block in.
Some continental rhythmic clapping here as Gunnarsson, as if a javelin thrower, runs up to hurl this in. Really hard and flat. Nicked on by Buildup. Terry at the back of Best, nothing doing. And Henderson wins a throw-in off Terry.
I wonder how many throw-ins he can take in one game. He must use a hell of a lot of energy. He's coming across the pitch for another one here.
Rory Delap at one point this season developed a shoulder problem, didn't he, after yanking in so many of these. Steve Bennett just sorting out a few subplots inside the penalty area. Gunnarsson once more. It's Essien's header out. Malouda uncomplicated. Right, the only man back. Reloading it. Czech has come to take command and does. And He distributes hurriedly and well too. What a splendidly directed kick from Petr Cech for Malouda. And now Lampard, who ran into a jarring challenge from Dan.
Yeah, they're tiring now, Coventry, understandably so. Good quick feet by Frank Lampard. He's away from Dan there, and a late, tired sort of tackle by Scott Dan.
Desperate Dan, you might call him.
What a way with words you have, Peter.
And apart from anything else, this runs down the clock. Enables Frank Lampard to milk the applause and enjoy the songs of his supporters behind that goal. And for Chelsea at large to enjoy the feeling of their proximity to Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. Lampard beaten out by Westwood. Further clear from Goodison. Further clear still from Hall. And Goodison again, they've bullied it out, Coventry. Hit early by Bouzelin. Cech has come out of goal. It's that shade of blue which prevails today.
I think the positives for Coventry really are to take this sort of performance, and again the performance against Blackburn in the early round, and know they can mix it with good teams.
Henderson, last chance of a moment for Coventry to carry out of their big day, and Ashley Cole isn't even prepared to allow them that. And that is that. No mistakes this time. Chelsea into the last 4, 6 wins in a row, still perfect under Hiddink. A year ago, Chelsea trudged off at Barnsley, beaten and bemused, but no repeat today. Instead, Chelsea blue is the colour, sky blues are raised. Hiddink and his charges head to Turin in splendid spirits, and come April they will head for Wembley too. It finishes at the Ricoh Arena, Coventry City 0, Chelsea 2.
People have questioned the value of Didier Drogba over recent months, but I mean, when he plays like this and he scores goals like this, he's back to his best, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. He's dangerous, and I think he is. He's very good for the group as well, for the team as well, for himself. Making also his little mistakes. He can still improve, and we're working that outside the normal training sessions. We work with some special training sessions as well, and he likes to do that. And yeah, it's paying off.
When you scored, you pointed at the bench and you asked for the man standing next to you to come over and join in the celebrations. How important is it to have Mr. Essien back in the team?
Yeah, we missed him a lot, and we're really happy for him to be back in the team and to come on the pitch and do what is his best thing, is playing football, you know, so really happy for him to be back.
Michael, you've timed your return very well. Big games now for Chelsea from now till the end of the season.
First of all, it's great to be back, you know. I miss football, so I'm really happy, and I'm looking forward for the games ahead.
The first goal was disappointing for us, but we were all right, you know. You're always going to be stressed against a quality team like that. We're disappointed with the referee on the second goal. I don't know what the rule is there, but he's waved those two players on. He needs to see where the ball bounces first, because nobody should be gaining an advantage. I know they're 2 players short, but they had to go off the pitch. So it's disappointing how quickly he waved them back on. And we've been done on the counter-attack.
I would say it's a difficult team to play, but it's not easy to make a good win here. And they had their strengths in their strikers, but I think we could control the game very well. At the end, we made a very beautiful goal, second goal, which killed the game.
So Chelsea safely through to the semi-final. Coming up after the break, it's Fulham against Manchester United.